Got a lot of people on TikTok that are asking about Purdy. What value does Purdy have? I think Purdy's got a high value. Not everybody's
Man,
back.
now
I think
everybody's
Purdy's
talking
got a
about
high
Purdy. Oh,
value.
Hot Soup been talking about Purdy all year. Now they talking about Purdy, huh? Yeah, it was
They
in my top
are.
5 starts last week. Back in my top 5 starts this week. Brought number 1. He's going against Seattle this week. 18th, ranked 18th against the quarterback. My fearless forecast for Purdy will be 292 through the air, 3 TDs. I actually called the 4 TDs last week as well.
Gotcha. So we talking Purdy is Purdy, and this is a question on TikTok. If it's between Purdy and Dak, who are you taking this week anyway?
Man, I'm taking Purdy. They're better. Look, y'all, they're gonna be mad when I say it. San Francisco's the best team in the NFL.
I mean, I don't know about anybody can be mad about that.
Everybody's gonna be, hey, look, check it out. You got CMC right up for MVP. You
Yep.
got Ayuk, who is a number 1 receiver on anybody's team if you take him there, right? And then you got Deebo Samuel, who is the gadget man, who can, he can run routes. He
Right.
knows the full routes. He can be a running back. He showed us in years before. He's just an animal, man. You got Kittle. George Kittle. If you want to turn your blocking tight end into a catching tight end, he can be top 3 any given week, right? So
Right.
not only and Purdy is accurate.
Yes, he
So
is.
they just got and they defense is good. So they're gonna be turning people over. He's gonna be getting the ball more. Listen, man, they're the best team in the NFL. They proved it smacking the Eagles last weekend. Hey,
Yes.
look, man. Anything in San Francisco, like I've been saying, started.
Gotcha. Let me look over here. What about Jake Browning? Does Jake Browning have any value? Jake Browning looked good on Monday night, Hot Soup. He looked good.
How much have defenses seen him? They haven't, right?
They haven't.
It's gonna take a little bit to game plan, take a week or two. He might get hot. I don't put all my eggs in that basket. I may start him if I need him, in a league. If you heard what I said, if I need him. Otherwise, I'm taking the quarterbacks I started. Now, if you're in a situation where you got a bye week, there are some bye weeks this week, as well as, a situation where you got a quarterback that got hurt because there's a lot of them. Hey, man, I mean, he's not a bad start. He could blow
Right.
up. He could throw, 3 touchdowns for you and be a top 10 quarterback this week.
Gotcha. So it's Nico Collins.
Yeah.
People got to give him, especially with Tank Dell being out for the year.
Listen,
You got to get Nico in your lineup.
everybody already had him in their lineup. You're not stupid. He's got CJ Stroud throwing to him. CJ Stroud can go for 350 yards any given time. And just because Tank Dell goes out, that just means next man up, and that's going to be Brown. And I've been telling people, man, go get Noah Brown. Go get Noah Brown. He's on 50% waiver wires right now. Every waiver wire I saw him on, I went and picked him up. I mean, it's not like he didn't have 2 games of 150 plus yards, touchdowns. Like, he showed that he could be that guy, right? So you got Nico Collins on one side, Schultz gets healthy, and then you got Singletary, and it looks like they're going to be handing the ball off to Pierce a little bit more, but he's not getting the average, or he's not getting the yards per carry that Devin Singletary is. And Devin Singletary is used way more in the passing offense. So for those of you who had Devin Singletary playing and he had a bad game, still start him.
I got it. And now somebody asked about Pierce or Singletary. I'm like, I don't think that's a conversation we need to have anymore, is it?
No, man, he's the better running back.
Yeah.
Dameon Pierce had 15 rushes last game, 2.2 average, 2.2 yards average. Yeah, that guy, he didn't earn his work.
He did not, and that was why I just think you got to move on at this point. You just got to move on. Running backs this week, man. Top 5 running backs, or let's not do 5. Let's do 3. Top 3 running backs that we got to get in this week in your lineups.
I mean, so we all could go and say, hey, man, let's start. The main your main guys that everybody starts, right? But everybody's going to start them anyway. So we want to talk about those guys, in my opinion, that are on the bench. And they're on most people's benches, but they have a great matchup and would be a great play for somebody if needed. Like, everybody's going to start Christian McCaffrey, everybody's going to start Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, right? So let's start getting down to those guys that can have great games. I am starting this week Ezekiel Elliott, and he goes deep. I'm talking about deep. And check this out. They're playing against Pittsburgh, right? Small hands is out. Am I correct?
He is.
Small hands is out, right? So this is going to be a more Bill Belichick type game where they're going to try to control the game with running the ball. I believe that Pittsburgh's going to try to do the same. They're going to try to control the game by running. This is going to be a run game. It's not going to be a passing through the air game. It's going to be a run game. Control the ball. And I think Ezekiel Elliott, no more Ramondre Stevenson right now. I have him forecasted for 24 total touches. He's fresh. He hasn't been getting the rock a lot, but when he has been doing is averaging 4.5 yards per carry.
Right.
You give him 24 touches, he's going over 100 yards. I see him getting into the end zone twice this week. He's my biggest sleeper of the week, Ezekiel Elliott. I went and picked up him like 5 of my leagues, and I'm starting him with confidence. Another guy, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's going against Indianapolis, who's ranked 28th against the running back right now. I think Joe Mixon's going to get another 20-plus touches like he has been. He's been working a lot more since Burrow got hurt. He's been getting a lot more work in the pass game. They've been dumping off to him. He had a nice little couple catch runs this last weekend. And I think he's going to go off for about 18 points in fantasy football this week, standard scoring.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know about Zeke though, man. I'm just not sure about the Zeke play. The Steelers, I feel like the Steelers, after that horrible game where they got embarrassed by the Cardinals, I feel like this is a bounce back game for that defense. I feel like because if they're going to win, they're going to need the defense to do something.
Who else are they going to hand the ball to? He's going to be a 3-down back. Ezekiel Elliott will be a 3-down back this week. Watch what I say.
All right. I got you. Here's somebody that we haven't talked about all year. He's a running back. He's this actual starting running back on a football team. He's been getting more carries since they changed offensive coordinators. James Cook. Think about getting James Cook in your lineup.
James Cook this week is, let me see here, is playing Kansas City.
Yeah.
Pretty tough run defense. They're in the top tier run. I think I want to say 10th overall or 11th overall against the run. However, I think that Buffalo will spread the ball around through the pass game, but I think that Cook gets a lot of that out the backfield as well as touches. I see 20-plus touches. He really don't have nobody spelling him out. Latavius Murray every now and then, but he is the most explosive back. He's a big play threat, so could have 2-3 catches or 2-3 carries where he goes for 20 yards on each one. So you're already at 60 yards off 3 carries. So meaning that he has a high potential, high floor right now for this game coming up this weekend. So I like some Cook.
I got you. Somebody on TikTok is asking about Rashad or Swift this week.
Rashad. I'm benching Rashad this week. Rashad White's going against Atlanta. They're ranked 2nd against the running back. I was forecasting 16 touches for about 70 yards. He will get some receiving work, but they be shutting that run down. I see that Baker Mayfield going back to work through the air this week. He got shut down last week, and that game's going to be more of a pass game for Tampa. So I would take the other. Who was the other guy?
Rashad White. Swift.
Man, that's tough, man. Swift, I'm down on Swift right now, and I got him.
On Swift, man.
I'm down on Swift, man. He's just, he's not a 3-down back. Okay, let's throw that out there. And he was getting 3-down work for them first couple games, which he was looking good. He was explosive, but the holes aren't opening up like they was. And in my opinion, this is what I think about that. I think that Philly lets people bomb them every single game. Their secondary is terrible, and they gotta stay throwing the ball. Period.
Right.
So Swift, he might get more usage in the pass game than he is in the run game. I just haven't seen it, and that's been in the past like 5-6 games. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
So man, I don't even know what to tell you on that pick, man. I'm sorry for you.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's just, it's weird because like you said, Swift was getting a lot, but they just don't run it like that anymore. I think
Rashad White gets more volume. Put it that way. So he has a higher floor. Rashad White has the higher floor out of those two. Hopefully that helped you out, brother.
Now, somebody's asking, this goes against, or last week it went against your better judgment with Kyren Williams. You always say 2 weeks, you got to come back. Kyren Williams has been blowing up. I think he's got to be in your lineup every week from here on out.
Yeah, that's a must start. That's a no-brainer. That's like top 5 start.
Got to get in the lineup. And came out of nowhere, too.
Top 5 start. And when I do top 5 starts, just to let all the fans know, man, I don't put in guys that are top 5 starts. I put in guys that are ranked 21 or 23, but I see a good matchup, and I'm like, man, this is a guy you want to get in there, you know. So I
Right.
start thinking about game flow and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So let's switch it over to wide receivers. Give us 3 receivers. Again, not the top guys. Everybody knows who the top guys are. Who are
Exactly.
3 receivers that people gotta put in their lineup this week that, like you say, might be on their bench?
Bro, Cortland Sutton.
Yeah. Yeah.
9 touchdowns in the last 12 games.
Yeah.
That means 75% chance he's gonna score this week. And it gets even greater because Cortland Sutton's going against the Chargers, who are ranked 30th in the NFL against the
That's right.
receiver. That's just absolutely horrible. And I think that Justin Herbert, he comes out of shell, man, and throws out an air show against Denver's defense. So yeah, man, I think that's going to be a high scoring game. A lot of people like, no, I don't think that Denver's defense is getting better and this. Nah, man. Herbert, he has a plan. He's gonna carve their ass up. Oh, excuse my language. He's
You're
gonna
all
carve
good.
them up. And yeah, man. Cortland Sutton is one guy that I would have in my lineups this week if I were fantasy owners.
That's the thing. I've had Cortland Sutton all year, and I've had him on my bench behind guys all year. But I got CD and I got Tyreek. So
Yeah,
it's hard to
you're
get.
not benching them. You're not benching
Yeah,
those guys.
that's what I'm saying. It's hard to get him in there, but I think I might flex him this week.
Man,
I
you
think
bet.
I might flex
You
him this
should.
week.
75% chance B he gonna get in that. The numbers don't lie.
They don't.
He gets a lot of red zone targets. Matter of fact, before the year started, I was telling everybody Cortland Sutton was like top 3 in targets. He wasn't getting the actual red zone targets. He wasn't actually catching them, but he was getting the targets. And that just means they're going to be better days, right? Which
Absolutely.
also means that I'm going to score 9 touchdowns in the last 12 games.
Absolutely.
There it
Now,
is.
somebody over here is talking about Sutton because he's his favorite target now. Jerry Jeudy is absolutely just falling off the face of the earth.
That's T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy and
T. Higgins is the same way, just falling off the face of
falling
the
off,
earth.
man. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yep.
Does DK Metcalf stay hot? Does he stay hot?
DK Metcalf going against San Francisco secondary. That's where San Francisco's suspect. They secondary, they're I want to say they are ranked 24th or 23rd. 24th or 23rd against the receiver. That's going to be obviously a high scoring game.
Right.
You got, obviously we just talked about it. San Fran's going to put up a lot of points. Gino's going to have to do what he did last week, try to put up a lot of points with it. And DK Metcalf is the best receiver in the offense, man. And he showed that. Catch that man on a slant. You see what he did. They should be targeting him more, in my opinion. He's the most physical receiver. He can take the beating. You know what I'm saying? So why not give him the most targets?
Gotcha. Let me.
He don't even take beatings, man. He gives them.
You're right. He gives them.
He does. He gives them.
But he disappears because he ain't the best route runner. So I think that's a little bit of his problem right there. But I like DK. Like DK.
You got a game plan for him. What are his strengths? Let's use his strengths. Let's not go to the weaknesses, the route running. Have his ass run a stop and go get that ball.
Gotcha. Somebody had a good question over here on TikTok. I'm going to see if I can find it. The screen went too fast on me. It was Nico Collins or Michael Pittman.
At this point, I still got to go Nico Collins. Collins scores more touchdowns. Now, hold on. The matchup. Nico Collins has a terrible matchup this week, but he's a must start. Tank Dell is out. Nico Collins must start, lock and loaded. I have Nico Collins and I have in plenty leagues, and I also have Michael Pittman. If I had that choice, I'm taking Nico Collins this week.
Gotcha.
I don't care about the matchup.
Pittman's playing against the Bengals. You know the Bengals secondary. People can throw that football against them.
No. Definitely. Pittman has the better matchup. He has a higher PPR floor as well, meaning he's getting more targets. Pittman has 16 targets last week. He's getting the targets, 11 catches, but he's not getting in the end zone like Nico Collins. Nico Collins is getting in that end zone.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a tough one.
We could say in a PPR league, who has the highest floor? Michael Pittman all day. Who has the highest ceiling? Nico Collins all day. There it is. What you playing for? Are you playing to win? Or are you playing just to try to get through this fantasy playoffs coming up? You either in or you're not.
I was just gonna say, Soup, fantasy playoff. This is last week.
Yes,
This is
sir.
the last week, and then you get into
Man.
the playoff. Is there anything, and before I get you out of here, man, and I appreciate you joining us, is there anything that people should be doing to shore up a roster? Grabbing a defense,
Grab a defense.
maybe grabbing one of those solid kickers and keeping them,
Go
on
look
their
at-
roster. Is
go
there
look at-
anything people need to be doing right now?
Go to the defenses, look at the matchups for the playoff slate. Week 15, 16, and 17. That's all
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Y'all do your homework.
Gotcha. See, because what I did, I played sneaky, and I got the Browns early, and somebody got rid of the Dolphins, and I'm like, the Dolphins' defense isn't horrible, and Jalen Ramsey's going to be back.
It's
And
good.
sure enough, when he came back, the Dolphins' defense took off, and now
Mhm.
I have both of them. And people were trying to trade me. I'm like, you're gonna have to trade me a lot for me
Yeah.
to come out, because they're literally both of them are scoring like 12, 15 points a week.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so
That's
you know,
important. That's
yeah, it's
important to have.
important.
That's
It's
important to
important.
have, man, when it's crunch time. Right?
Yes.
Start looking at your matchups. When I go into playoffs, I look at all 3 weeks before I even start week 1. Where
Right.
where am I gonna need some help at the next week? Who's they facing? Oh man, I don't like this matchup. I like this matchup. Oh, look at this guy. I can get this guy off the waiver wire right here and start him in week 16 when this guy right here is playing the worst, the best secondary in the league. So that's how I think, man. I plan ahead. Definitely.
I got you. We got another question here, man. Laporta or Hawkinson?
Laporta.
Because Hawkinson, look, I think the Dobbs effect is all but over.
Laporta.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Laporta's that guy.
Better quarterback, man.
Better quarterback.
Hey, Laporta, Laporta's a better down the field option. He's young, he's fresh, he's ready, bro.
Yeah. I just
They
I
can't,
like
they can't
Josh
key on,
Dobbs.
they
I
can't
like
key on Laporta, man. They can't key on him. You got to worry about David Montgomery. You got to
Yeah.
worry about Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to worry about Amon Ra. Like, it's too much to worry about over. They can't key on just him like they can on Kelsey or other tight ends that there's nothing else going around them.
Let me ask you this, Soup. Amon Ra, our man St. Brown. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers in the league.
Easy.
I also think he's one of the most underrated receivers in fantasy football as well.
He is. He, you know what? He does everything very well at a high
Yeah.
level. Everything. You name it, catching him, but he has hands, route running. Like he has ability to get open, create separation. He's smart. Like I mean, he's the perfect receiver.
And they go to him in the red zone.
Yeah. He's also a workout monster.
Yes.
Workout monster.
So I like him. One more question I'm going to ask about your hometown Chicago Bears wide receiver, DJ Moore.
Get him in your lineups.
I was just going to say, we need to get him in your lineup.
Sweet matchup this week. I got him starting in both the leagues I got him in. Wish I'd have got him in more. Yeah, that's Justin Fields' baby. Justin Fields isn't that dude, but when he's throwing to DJ Moore, he's making sure DJ Moore get that rock. So
got it.
Yeah, get him in your lineups.
I appreciate it, man. Well, thank you for joining us today, man. As always, tell everybody where we can find you, brother.
Find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can go on there, like and subscribe. Again, you can always comment in the comment section. Ask me some questions, man. Inbox me, and I'll have those answers to you within 24 hours. No problem.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to join us, man. I will holler at you soon next week.
All right, brother. See you soon.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right, buddy.
That was our guy, Hot Soup Fantasy Football. Y'all know how he does it. 30 leagues. The man's in 30 leagues. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Been doing it for like 15 years, man.